And my mom was in love with this guy. Oh, it was such a good show. I thought it was the best thing ever, but apparently it wasn't.
One morning, you wake up to this guy screaming outside of your house into a megaphone. You walk outside to find out that he is with a television crew, and they are sending you and your family on a one-week vacation. And
that
during
was awesome.
that time, he is going to demolish your home and build you a brand new one from the ground up. Although it's pretty obnoxious, it sounds like a pretty good deal, right? Well, it is a good deal until it's not. Foreclosures, angry community members, property tax increases, bills doubling to tripling, and even more family struggles. Many of the families that were featured on Extreme Makeover Home Edition ended up worse off than before Ty Pennington showed up on their doorstep. But to fully understand how some families were negatively affected by what seems to be a very generous gift, we must first take a look at the families that were carefully chosen to get these home remodels. Typically, individuals would fill out an application form on the ABC website, which required them to provide a story of why they deserved a new house. You could also nominate another family, such as a friend or a member of your community. Every episode starts with a story of the deserving family in need, such as a family that lost their mother or father, a family with a disabled child, a family that's living in poverty, or a family affected by a natural disaster. Since this was a reality television show, it was very important to produce the most tear-jerking episodes possible, featuring stories that would deeply tug at the viewer's heartstrings.
Bro, they had me in
Some people
tears.
argued that specifically targeting families who had endured unimaginable tragedy and faced overwhelming hardship was ABC exploiting them for better ratings. Joe Scarborough of MSNBC claimed that Extreme Makeover has a secret wish list of victims the show is trying to hunt down. They want to find a family who has multiple children with Down syndrome. They want to find a child with a rare condition that causes rapid aging and death. They want to find an extraordinary mom or dad who's diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. Now, if the show was aggressively targeting these people, sure, that's a bit weird, especially because it's likely for the TV ratings and not for charity.
Right.
However, it is still a good deed. Plus, if they helped out middle-class families or ones that seemed like they weren't that bad off, they would be criticized for not focusing on a more deserving family.
Yeah, like, is there something wrong that they were trying to target families that were much more like, you know, what they were targeting, so that way it's good for ratings, but it's also good for the people that need it? I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't think Home Makeover is taking advantage of the families. However, I do think that monthly subscription sites take advantage of you and know that most people forget to cancel their subscriptions. Well, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is an all-in-one finance.
Chat, you just have to watch my stream, okay? I'm telling you, you don't need to just subscribe to my stream. There's nothing else you need to worry about, okay?
Upload a photo of your bill and let them do the rest. To save more and spend less, join the 3.4 million users using Rocket Money. I've got the hookup. Go to rocketmoney.com/PatrickCC or click the link in the description to get started for free or unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/PatrickCC to get started for free. Get your money right. Once the participants were selected, the crew would treat the families to a fully funded vacation to destinations such as Hawaii, California, or Florida. During the family's trip, ABC would rally hundreds of contractors, construction workers, and volunteers in the local community to help. Sometimes they would even make Facebook pages so all their neighbors could stay up to date. Oftentimes, the volunteers are critical for the house getting completed on time. Then, Ty Pennington would video call the family and show his crew absolutely destroying their house. And sometimes they would take it too far. Take the Rapati Pierce family, for example. The mother and father were both police officers, and one tragic night, Christina was shot during a foot pursuit, which led to her being paralyzed from the waist down. So they hired the LA SWAT team to place bombs inside of the house, detonate them, then drive a massive battering ram attached to an armored truck to destroy the house. Now, obviously, they have to do demolition to rebuild a new house from the ground up, but it would still be a bit traumatic to watch your home filled with all those memories get smashed to a million pieces. But the ridiculousness didn't stop there. Remember, this is reality TV. Just building a very practical, standard, and modest home wouldn't be good enough. So the carpenters and designers,
I mean, did she think it's that bad? I don't know. Like, who knows if she thought it was that bad? We don't know.
Were pushed to create increasingly elaborate designs and gimmicks to boost ratings, such as this airplane-themed bedroom with bags of peanuts as curtains, this very small backyard that was converted to a miniature go-kart track. How many trips around that go-kart track would a kid be able to do?
That's fucking sick!
Sick of it. Why not a playroom with a ball pit containing 27,000 plastic balls? And my personal favorite, a teenager's room entirely made out of duct tape.
desk. I have a bedspread and a pillowcase made out of duct tape.
The designers would take one small facet of their personality and dedicate the entire bedroom to it. Like this toddler who said he wants to be a cardiologist when he grows up.
Oh, yeah, they did do this kind of shit. I even questioned this when I was a kid. I'm like, okay, well, what happens in 3 years when the kid hates this shit? I mean, then they have to buy all new stuff.
So they put EKG signals on the walls and a dresser designed to look like a human heart. Rooms like this seem very difficult to age in, and the tacky designs would actually take a considerable amount of effort to change. But sometimes it wasn't just tasteless designs. They would actually create new responsibilities that the family
Yo, that's sick! No, shut up, that's sick!
This teenager got a jacuzzi that
relies on people submitting skips.
What?
It took up half the bedroom. Could you imagine your room constantly smelling like hot chlorine water?
Yes!
Cost to maintain a jacuzzi is only about $20 to $40 per month in sanitizer and chemicals, but even doing the maintenance is a burden that maybe nobody wanted. Just draining water every 3 to 4 months like you're supposed to would be incredibly inconvenient.
I have to shower every day.
Another thing they did often was add huge fish tanks or animal habitats.
That's
like
awesome!
This boy's room that looks like the reptile section at a pet store, complete with frogs, turtles, and lizards.
Yo!
Buying pet food, supplies, and cleaning the tanks is even more important because it will literally kill the animal if you don't.
That's
Extreme
sick.
home makeover inserting new responsibility onto you without your choice isn't only annoying, for some people it created even more problems and financial stress that ultimately forced them to move out of their homes. Now most of the time, ABC would entirely pay off the home for the family. However, owning a home is more than just paying the mortgage. Expenses such as property taxes, utilities,
damn,
and
that's a dream house.
Quickly. There have been multiple
I strive
reports
for a house
of
like that
families
one day,
whose
Chad.
expenses doubled, if not tripled, within the first year of living there.
I gotta get my money
the
up.
Dickinson family went from an 1,800 square foot ranch to a 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 4,000 square foot super home equipped with cutting edge technology. So
and you're gonna complain? Bro, you sell that shit. You sell that shit. Okay? Now you sell it.
it's only natural to assume that the bills would go up. Their electric bill alone went from about $200 per month to as high as $600 after. Their property taxes tripled. The wife, India, said she wasn't worried. My husband works and I work, so if I have to work another
Get a
job
second
to help
job
keep
just
it
like
up,
I did.
that's what I'll do. But as the years went on, it got worse and worse. And in October of 2016, William filed a Chapter 13 bankruptcy petition to save his home from foreclosure. He had only $5 in cash, $287 in a checking account, and $15 in a joint savings account at the time of filing. However, it seems like they never lost the house, because on 2022 Google Maps, you can see William and his daughter standing outside the front door, proud of their estate.
Yeah, okay, so that ain't too bad.
But that situation was nothing compared to the Oakvath family. The Oakvaths were from Gilbert, Arizona, and their story began with a heartfelt letter from their daughter, Cassandra, who requested the show to renovate the cancer ward where she had been a patient. Touched by Cassandra's selfless request, the producers not only granted her wish, but also surprised the family of 9 with a 2-story mansion. The construction involved a massive team of 1,600 contractors and volunteers that garnered attention from across the state. Fortunately, this was happily ever after. Utility costs reached $1,200 for electricity per month and $400 per month for water. Property taxes increased from $1,600 to Makeover to $5,600 after Brian lost his job and was battling depression. With no other immediate solution, they used their house as collateral to take out a $405,000 loan. It was an adjustable rate mortgage, and the payments became too much for the family to handle. This was their dream home, and they knew they could afford it. The craziest part is, they never even asked for this in the first place.
So that's what I was gonna say. Like, if they asked for this renovation and they were okay with it, like they submitted and they were like okay with it, then it's kind of your fault, right? Like, if you knew that you're getting this home and you're like, oh, but I can't afford it now, that's your fault. Like, they did it, they renovated it, that's tough shit, that's your fault. But if they'd never asked for it, then that's a whole problem.
The ironic part about these situations is that people's first instinct is to doubt the families. Why couldn't they figure it out? Why not get another job? Why didn't they just sell the house? Most of the time, nobody wants to buy these homes. The Oakvaths listed their house for $1.8 million, then slowly started to lower the price over the next year. Out of desperation, they ended up selling for $540K, just enough to break even on their loan and maybe put a down payment on a new place. The Beach family have been trying to sell their home since February 2013. The price tag started at $700,000 and is now down to $535,000.
Okay, but like, see, like he makes these videos seem so dramatic. Since February 2013, this was posted December 2013. You're making it sound like they've had their listing up for 10 years and they haven't gotten rid of it. Like, this guy Patrick embellishes these stories so much.
They say they've had to sell because the upkeep of the house is just too much now. It's a unique home and will take a unique person to buy it. Most critics forget the reason these families got these homes were because they were struggling in the first place. Many of them
That was right in the middle of a housing crash. I know. It's like way too personified. Like, I don't understand.
had pre-existing debt. Some of them weren't even homeowners in the first place. They were renting the house and ABC bought it and built them a new one. Combine these money
That's a
issues
house?
with the family trauma they were all experiencing, and it's a recipe for disaster. From my research, every single family that sold their house sold it for less than what it cost to build. But no matter what reason they chose to sell their house, they face backlash from the community. Since each home is a community project with hundreds of volunteers, they look at the home like a gift from their neighbors. The Hassel family decided to sell just 3 years later because it was too much stress to handle. Then a publication interviewed members of the community to see how they feel. A lot of people gave time, product, and services. Some are very angry. Some I've run into have asked, why do they deserve it? There was even a letter written to the local newspaper that titled, "The entire Hassel family story is a disgrace and humiliation to this community."
Damn.
The Harper family's house foreclosed, and the mayor's response was, "It's aggravating. It just makes you mad. You do that much work, and they just squander it." Because he helped vault a massive beam into place in the Harper's living room.
Fuck you.
The Nicholas family received a home after the father died from contracting hepatitis C when he was pricked with a patient's contaminated needle. 9 years later, the home was foreclosed because the mother could not manage the previous home mortgage and new property taxes that tripled in price. "I feel bad because so many people came together to help us," she said. "I know I shouldn't feel like I let them down.
Yeah,
but I do."
that makes sense.
Many of the
That should
families
feel like
feel
that.
guilt and shame that they couldn't live happily ever after. Most of them don't want to sell their houses, but the financial stress and family tragedy is overbearing. As the years went on, ABC scaled back their projects because so many homes were being foreclosed on. They eventually realized these over-the-top charity acts were too extreme to be truly helpful, but then their ratings dropped since the homes weren't extreme enough for TV, which led to the show being canceled in 2012. I also noticed that they only have a small selection of episodes available on Hulu today, and all of the families who went on to sell or
You know what they should have done? They should have paid for every family's like electricity and water bills for 2 years.
get foreclosed on got their episodes removed from streaming services. It turns out when you find a broken family facing hardship and financial problems, build them an extremely oversized home with ugly interiors in the middle of a neighborhood surrounded by other homes not even worth half as much as the new one they just built, it ends up doing more harm than good.
Interesting. I mean, yeah, I honestly, a lot of Patrick's videos, sometimes I listen to it, I'm like, okay, well, this is not entirely accurate, but... Listen, I would just sell the house. And half those rooms were sick. The dinosaur room was fucking cool. The room with the turtles was fucking sick. The hot tub room, I would love to smell chlorine.